Should be on there. I don't see it.
It always takes a bit.
Does
Yeah,
it?
there it is.
Okay.
Hello.
It's really pretty out there. It'll probably make driving home a little
Yeah.
precarious.
A little slick.
They're getting a nor'easter up in the like eastern part of the country, New England and whatnot. Let's see. What the hell words are we going to talk about?
I need another coffee, and my Starbucks is not taking order ahead right now, so I have to wait till the show gets over.
Yeah, when you get used to that convenience, it's
Exactly. Well, this is the second time it's been an issue for me this morning because when I went to my Starbucks by my house, they weren't allowing anyone in the cafe, so I had already mobile ordered, so then I had to go through the drive-thru anyway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, there's like 7 cars here. What was the
Yeah.
point?
Seems a little counterintuitive.
Right.
Let's see.
That picture is frightening.
The kid?
Of the little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's disturbing. So if you're on our Facebook, you probably have seen this. The photo that Joey was able to snag of these parents putting their kid just inches away from the edge of the Grand Canyon. And poor thing was scared to death, as I would be. I mean, Bob would be trying to move me to certain things. I'm like, nope, that's good enough. I'm close enough. It's
Right.
like, I don't need.
I just don't.
There's no point in this.
It's just a really terrible. Dying is terrible altogether, but it's just could be prevented. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like so many things. Yeah, see that photo we posted lower on the page? It was when I was at the Grand Canyon in June, July, and we just got there, and I see a bunch of people sitting near the edge, and that kid, if you scroll down, I blurred his face up, but you see he's maybe a foot and a half, and you can see his timidness. And I have a video of it too, which is where I got the still image. But he was really uncomfortable with it because, you know, your intuition, your human nature is to be like, that's danger.
Right.
And that's a rock. That's not even
I'm
like...
already picturing him taking the photo that they just absolutely had to have to his therapist later in life.
Yeah, that's pretty...
One of the most traumatic experiences my parents put me through for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've done anything.
Well, I was telling you that it made me think of the time that I took Garrett, my ex-husband and I were taking Garrett on a Disney ride,
Right.
Big Thunder Mountain.
Right.
And we thought we were horrible parents because he's screaming, crying, but
Right.
and then once he
Right.
got on it, he enjoyed it. But it's like, that was a safe ride.
Right.
You know, so it's
Built for
not
that.
putting him next to an edge.
I think maybe the dumbest selfie or video I've tried to take. So I was riding one of those little scooters, what do they call them? Lime. The little like scooters around town that you pay for.
Yes.
Right. Which, by the way, I just now noticed the other day they don't have them out during the winter. I don't think they're out. Anyhow,
Yeah, they are on the
Are
winter
they?
because I've done we did a 12 bars of Christmas
okay.
thing, and
I mean,
yeah.
okay. But I've been on one of those and tried to take a video of myself or a selfie while riding, and that is really, really a terrible idea.
Yes.
Because they're super...
We'll enjoy it once you're done.
Oh, I mean, here's the deal. You fall off that.
Hey,
you're going
I
12
have.
Yeah. Maybe that explains the holes in the rest of your jeans. You didn't think of that, did you? I bet you didn't. Let's we're going to promote the commercial-free cash time announcement, so if you missed it, this is how we do it. Hang on, let me hit some buttons so we can make this sound fancy. All right. He's going to be here on the 5th church on the 5th?
Yeah,
Eric
next
Church?
Saturday.
How excited are we that Eric Church is going to be here a week from tomorrow? On the
Yeah.
5th? And have you ever been to an Eric Church concert? Mindy?
Yes.
Putting you on the spot. You ever stood in the pit for one of those concerts?
No.
Oh my gosh, what a show! And how long are they? 2.5, 3 hours?
Yeah.
It's a commitment. So we're so excited that he's coming to town, and it's Joey and Mindy on 97.1 Hank
I
FM.
guess he was just somewhere recently when we were in Arizona. They were talking about it. He performed for 3 straight hours, no break.
Oh, he just goes.
That's amazing.
He is a machine and a very rare breed of entertainer. I think Garth Brooks is up there where you just see them and you're just like, you just can't take your eyes off the whole production.
Right.
It's Joey and Mindy. We're rolling 97 minutes of commercial-free new country. We announced a $500 jackpot today for commercial-free cash. And folks got to listen to Kara at 5:50 today, right?
Yes.
And if you don't hear your name, make sure you get signed up. You can do it every 24 hours at hankfm.com.
He ain't got my smile that don't.
So just to clarify, we've had some folks misunderstanding the Acoustic Stars and Guitars text contest. You do not have to be first. We will notify you. Have a full hour to text it in, and then you'll be notified via text if you are the winner that we pick from random from all of the entries. So someone just said, I've been trying to be first. I'm like, you don't have to be.
That's a good point. I mean, yeah. I mean, so many things we do, you have to be the
certain caller or whatever.
That's the cool thing about this. It's
Yeah.
like you don't have to like rush,
Right.
you know, but you do need to know what the code is.
Right.
So you should listen, but by all means, if you're driving,
Yes.
know,
Please
just
do not
wait.
text and drive. It is against the law.
So, but yeah, and it's that.
And there's 3 other times to win today as well, or opportunities to win. 11, 3, and 5, right?
Yep, 11, 3, and 5. So just listen for that magic word, and we'll tell you. And all you got to do is you text it then, or you got a whole hour. But it's kind of cool, a little less rush. Did we reveal what happened to your jeans? Because that's what we're talking about. We determined it was the
There was a pin, as in like a pin you'd wear,
like
the
flag,
the little swivel
safety
part
pin deal.
Mhm.
Is that what? Yeah.
Yeah, they call it the swivel. I had to look that up. I didn't know that was called. That's what it was
They
called.
do?
Because it swivels into the hook.
I thought they called them safety pins.
No, a safety pin is a safety pin.
But it's the same mechanism, isn't it?
Yes, but it's not a safety pin. It's a pin. It's not called a safety pin.
So what's the difference between a pin and a button?
A button is what you have on your shirt currently that goes into a hole and
but
you
I
sew
thought
it
those-
on.
I thought those round things that.
Well, it can be called a button also.
But it's a button with a pin.
Correct.
Okay.
And we're talking PIN, not PEN. So
Yeah.
so it was. I went to pick up my purse this morning and something stabbed me right in the area of my jeans, and I was like, "What the?" And it was protruding out of the
Just a little
pocket, just enough to stab me. And I'm like, I wonder how long because this happened in this pair in Arizona, and all of a sudden I saw a little snag that just kept getting. Now it's about this wide.
So kind of scrape back and forth, maybe. Do you wear your
Maybe it
purse
just hit
and-
it. Well, it might just hit it once and started to snag, and because I mean, it stabbed me today. And so it might just hit it just right.
Yeah.
And then once it snagged, it's just been from where.
When it stabbed you this morning, did you know immediately? Did you think to yourself, it's that? Or did it take you a minute?
No,
to
it
kinda-
took me a second. I
to
mean,
kinda
because
connect
I was
the
more.
dots?
I mean, I think it was more just like, what the hell just stabbed me? It's like, so yeah. And my poor husband Bob is lying there dead asleep, and this happened right in the bedroom, and I kind of screamed.
yell? Oh, yeah.
Well, it hurt.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it.
You know where we have issues at home with every house we've lived in. You know how the carpet tacks?
Oh my gosh,
Like
those
on
are the
stairs?
worst.
So what Josta does, so I'm super conflicted by this. So if you walk too close to a wall,
Or an
especially
edge where it's going
on
into
stairs-
tile.
on stairs, right? I just avoid walking on those areas now. You will poke your feet, your toe,
Yes.
right? So Josta will go around. My wife will go around with a hammer on the trouble spots and tap those areas to kind of dull the tack down. The problem is, I think they're supposed to stay that way. So if you ever take carpet out, you can
don't-
retack
Right.
the carpet. Otherwise, you got to put.
Right.
So that's my concern is that at least in those areas, we'll have to pull those up and they won't work again. But
I think you're right.
like when one of our kids like pokes their toe, it's like I get it. Like you do whatever you got to do so they don't do that again. But I wish there was a better way for that.
Yeah.
Because it's just little nails, like tack nail strips. But
And why does it hurt so badly? It's so little. You wouldn't think it'd be that big a deal.
All that weight going down on a
True.
pin. A little nail. Let's see. We'll do one more break here and then we'll be out of your hair today. Let's see. What have we not? Ooh, here's what we'll do. We've got a huge concert announcement Monday.
Coming up Monday
morning. So we will announce that after this. Actually, you're hearing it first. I won't tell you who the artist is. But we'll announce it 9 a.m. this Monday. So set your alarm or reminder. And yeah, that'll be big. That's a big one.
Oh, so people are making fun of me because I use a fork and knife for certain things like pizza and sushi. And Sean, who I went to college with, he's like, I'm almost afraid to ask you how you handle corn on the cob. I eat that with little prong things on the end.
I am okay with that.
I mean, I don't cut it with a
not that
fork.
you need my permission to do it that way. I mean, I'll do it both ways, but like I wouldn't.
Now, are you the person that will cut the corn? I mean, I have to have it on the cob. That's part of what I love about it.
Okay, so I'm conflicted because I love corn on the cob.
Me too.
But I despise what it does to my teeth.
Same.
Like, I really don't like that.
I feel like I need to immediately floss.
I really don't like that. And I find that when I eat it that way, it's worse. So that's my only issue with eating it that way.
Same.
And you feel very carnivoristic.
Yeah.
Like, same with
Right.
you ever had a turkey leg?
Yes.
You're like, oh, it's a tendon.
Go to medieval times.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Monday morning, 9 a.m., we got a big concert announcement. And you're going to hear it first, Joey and Mindy on 97.1, Hank FM, 9 a.m. Monday morning. We sure hope you have a good weekend.
Yes. Stay warm.
Got big plans, Mindy. You're going to go out and do some... Oh, you're going to be at Total Wine tonight?
Total Wine tonight from 6 to 7, and tomorrow at 8 seconds for Josh Abbott Band.
Cool. Have a great weekend. It's Hank FM.
Why do I always wave to the camera when we end the show here? We're not done here. I do that every time. I'm like, wait, we're not quite done.
I think the reason you do it, well, it's like the other day I mentioned texting and I did this while I was saying it. And I think that when you do that, it's your mechanism to sound more conversational.
Yeah, I guess.
Does that make sense? So you'll notice if you ever hear me talking or telling a story, I do weird things with my hands.
Oh, same. I
or
can't.
I'm looking.
Yep.
Or that's my like weird method to like feel like I'm talking to somebody.
Right.
That's a little radio secret for you. Otherwise, you just sound like you're.
Well, it's really funny when people walk by. There's a studio I do my commercials in.
Yeah.
And there's people that are on that floor that don't work in radio, and I know they think I'm crazy because I'm very animated when I'm giving the commercial.
There she goes again.
And I'll literally be like, this and this, and I know they're like, what is she doing in there?
Do you have any tics when you're just here by yourself or when you're recording some shows? Do you notice that you tap things or do anything weird? You might not even know you do it. Do you have any weird tics while you're talking to kind of...
I mean, I just have my weird habit that I've had before I got on radio where I play with the edge of paper, but I've been doing that since I was in fifth grade.
While you're talking, though?
Yeah.
So what...
See, they're called my paper crumbs. See?
You really do have paper crumbs. Okay. It's like your version
I end up having to clean them every day.
It's your version of doodling.
It is.
I do. So if you ever hear me when you're not here, I don't do it when you're here for some reason. But if it's just me, you'll hear me. Let's say I make a point and then I'm thinking, you'll hear me go, or like I'll tap. It's this, I don't know why I do it. It's a tick. And when my wife used to come in the studio occasionally at some of my previous jobs, she'd be like, you do realize you just hit things throughout. And I think it's my way of, I don't know. It's a weird habit. I don't know. Helps me like.
But it's interesting you don't do it with me in here. That's weird.
Huh. I don't at all. But I'll hear it in my headphones as I'm, and I'm like.
Stop doing that.
Yeah, he's tapping again. Yeah. There's a guy that I know who's a sportscaster and sports radio. And I was listening to a show one day, and it was him and another guy. And I heard somebody tapping their pen throughout the broadcast. And I sent him a text, and I go, stop tapping your pen. He said, it's the other guy. But the microphone was picking it up, and it's just a little.
Yep.
It's like tapping your foot if you're trying to maybe do an activity, like type or something like that. It's just, I don't know what you call the ticks, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because it reminds me of when I was taking piano lessons, and my piano teacher told me I had to cut my fingernails down because she could hear the clicking, and she didn't. She goes, "It's taking away from your playing. I can hear the clicking of your nails."
Oh, did you learn how to play piano?
For a while, I'm okay.
I took guitar lessons, and I kind of learned.
I mean, I can still play, but I mean, don't ask me, like, don't put some music in front of me and expect me to go crazy.
That is a dream of mine, to be able to sit down and play by ear. Like, it's an absolute, just to be able to sit down and like play beautiful music or a song I like.
I knew a woman that she couldn't read a lick of music, but she could play any song. I mean, you throw it at her, she'd kind of play around with it, and then she'd get it. It's like, what?
In a weird way, I think so many of us have skills like that where you're like, how do you do that? Like the natural athlete, right? Or, okay, so you got like the Arch Manning. We talked about that kid the other day. He probably can just go do any sport. Just be great at it. Or the DIY. I always say DIY. The DIY.
Oh, the do-it-yourselfer.
Yes, parent or dad or whatever who can just fix anything and be.
That's my dad.
Confident. That to me is a superpower. What we do, like the ability to like, or a comedian, right? To be able to go speak on stage and sound like it's really, really, really easy. But the truth is, it's not. It's just a lot of experience.
Right. It's an art.
But that's what I think of like with like guitar, and people can like hear a song and then just go play it.
Yeah.
You are just so good. And it reminds me, one last thing before we close up. Think about like the fact you can type on a keyboard. Mm-hmm. So I tell myself, well, if I can type on a keyboard, which by the way is really hard when you've never done it.
Right.
Like, you look and you go, how could you ever? I know I could learn how to play piano.
Same. I just need to be disciplined about it.
Was it hard?
No.
You just have to really put in the time.
Yeah, and I get, at the time when I started taking, I was like 5, and you have to do all those little drills, and those are boring when you're a kid, you have these like little run up, run down to strengthen your fingers. They get used to being, and you get used to, hitting things a certain way, which finger hits where, and I just want, easy stuff like. I need to just YouTube and see it because there used to be an advertisement of learn how to play the piano that you can play for your family, like just to sing-alongs. Yeah, that's all I want it for. I'm like because it does soothe me to just sit down and play. Like I've got some songs I've written that I'll just sit down and play, or old songs I remember that I had to memorize the music to. But I mean, it used to be a dream of mine to play Music Box Dancer. Do you remember? You probably don't even know what that song is. You need to look it up.
Who's the artist?
It's a piano. I don't know. It's all piano, and it's amazing. It's like it was really popular in the early '80s. It was actually on mainstream radio.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
And it's when you hear it, you'll be like, oh, it's pretty advanced piano. But that was always my dream, and kind of like my dream. I always had a dream of running the Boston Marathon. I've given up on that one as well. So.
Sometimes you just cut your losses.
So. Not that I probably couldn't train to do it. I just don't want to do it now.
Willpower is very important in these things. Hey, y'all. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Monday. Big announcement, 9 a.m. Mindy waves goodbye. I wave goodbye.
Come see me tonight at Total Wine and tomorrow night at 8 Seconds.